Hey there, fight fans. Welcome back to another episode of the Ranch Boxing Podcast, UFC edition. And this week, we're going to review UFC 323, the swan song for ESPN from T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas. But before we get to that, let's get to our boy, our resident expert, the man, Adog, coming straight from Cali live. How you living, dog? In the city.
Everything's good, man. I'm glad to see you early in the week, and I may not be the man after last week's picks. That title may be going to you now, man. Great card.
Hey man, even a broken clock is right twice a day, man. But I'll bask in it, man. I'm gonna bask in that sunshine for a little bit. It was my day, but we'll get to that a little bit later. I'm gonna let it marinate just for a bit because I want to taste it. I want to savor it, man. I want to savor that one.
It was a good one.
It was a good card though. What did you think of the whole card, man? The way it went out, the prelims, the main, all that stuff, the way it happened. ESPN's last hurrah, man. What did you think of the whole thing altogether?
I think it was fitting, man. Great card. A little bummed at the end, that co-main event. But overall, the prelims up to the main card was great, man. Fitting for me. Fitting.
Yeah, a lot of stoppages, a lot of knockouts, some good performances, and we'll go over most of it here. So let's start with our first bout. We're gonna start with a lightweight bout. The veteran Edson Barboza against the rejuvenated Jalen Turner, and Jalen Turner gets a knockout in the first round against Edson Barboza. Jalen Turner was the favorite, but there was a lot of questions about him in this fight. What did you think of his performance, man? What did you think of the whole fight?
Man, it's great to see a young kid like this come back with a nice, devastating, and proving KO. We did the review before the weigh-ins, but as soon as he stepped on the scale, I was ready for him, man. He looked he looked really good, really ready, and he delivered. He delivered, and unfortunately for Edson Barbosa, he was on the end of that rejuvenation and took another bad stoppage loss, man. But overall, Jalen Turner showed that he's back in there, and it's in his hands of what's next for him.
Yeah, I was really happy to see Jalen Turner, his attitude after. I mean, everyone's always in a better mood after a win, but he convinced me, man. I feel like he's got a new lease on life, a new lease on his career. I think he got refocused. I think he has seen what's really important and stuff like that. But he sounded great, man. He sounded like he was in a good place. Yeah, like I said, it's always easier after a win. Edson Barboza. He looked overwhelmed in that fight, man. It wasn't a one-hitter quitter. It wasn't a lucky shot. It wasn't just a big shot. And man, Jalen Turner looked like a giant in there. He looked huge. And I started thinking to myself, like, dude, like this guy's huge for lightweight. Why? Oh, I should have been picking this guy a long time ago. But he's had some problems. Edson Barboza got overwhelmed, man. It was just so much. It was just raining down on him. Poor guy. But Jalen Turner looked fantastic, man. I'm really excited about the future for him, man. He has the tools. He has the body to go. Man, he looked good. Yeah, he looks like he's reborn a little bit. So yeah, I'm happy for him, man. I liked it a lot.
Me too. Me too.
Just knockout, but just raining down bombs on Barboza. He just could not take it.
Yeah, good fight, good stoppage. Everything was good that fight, man. It was great.
Yeah, so let's move on to a middleweight bout. This was the on the early prelims. It was a feature on the early prelims. Marvin Vettori versus Bruno Ferreira, and Marvin Vettori comes up short as the favorite. He was a minus 120 favorite, plus 100 underdog for Bruno Ferreira, and Bruno Ferreira gets inches out a unanimous decision. I don't know if it was inched out, but it was kind of close, back and forth here a little bit. What did you think of this one?
Close fight, man. Close fight going in 1-1, going into that third. I liked it, man. I liked it. I like Bruno Ferreira fighting a big name, someone who's fought for the belt. And more that was good for me was the judging. Right. Vettori looked ahead on the CompuBox numbers. He had more strikes. I'm not sure about the takedowns. But Fajeda obviously caused more damage, and they scored it for him for that third round, and I liked it, man. I thought he won the fight. I thought he caused more damage, and in the end, the judges got it right for me. I agree with it, and Fajeda moves on to continue his winning streak.
Effective aggression, that's the name of the game. It's not quantity, it's quality. And I agree with you, man. Bruno Ferreira was landing the quality shots in this fight. I wish Bruno would. I think he can, man. I don't know, but I think he can lose. I think he can get to welterweight. He has some. I think he has some LB he can trim and get down if he really wanted to. But if he's, you know what, if he's comfortable at middleweight, maybe that is the best call. I've always, I've been hoping that people fight more at their comfortable weight, so we won't have to deal with like weight misses and stuff like that. But congratulations to Bruno. It was a good fight, and he's got a good name on his resume now.
Yeah, yeah, that's great that you brought that up. I didn't, great point. He does have some. He's got some meat on his bones, and that would be great to see him drop down to that lower weight. But like you said, some people perform better. Some people really take a hit dropping those extra pounds. But it'd be great to see because, like you said, he does have a little bit of extra meat on those bones. So who knows, man? That'd be good to see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's tried it before. Maybe he has and he doesn't like it. But either way, yeah, it is up to him, and he's winning fights against Vittori at middleweight. So we'll see what happens with him. Okay, let's move on to the prelim card, and let's start with the women's flyweight bout. Macy Barber coming back and getting a well-deserved unanimous decision against Karine Silva. And this was a good one for Macy, man. She was able to kind of shake off some demons, get to the fight, and take care of business. What did you think of this one?
Yeah, a good showing for her. I actually thought she lost that first round, or was very close. It was, it could have went either way for that. But definitely, round two stepped on the gas and showed up. So, like you said, she battled some adversity in that first round, and even in general before. But really picked it up. Showed she was there to fight and get that W, and ready to move on from that no show against Aaron Blanchfield, and let's see what's next for her, man. I'm excited. It was a good fight. Unfortunately, she didn't get that stoppage, but I thought she showed some aggression, and on to the next, and let's see how she does.
Right. She had to grind it out a little bit. I agree that first I thought it was close. I wasn't
Yeah.
actually sure who they were gonna get. I thought I was leading Barbara. I thought, yeah, I think she's got this. But you never know. And lucky for her, the judges were on this night. But you know what, dude? She's strung together a lot of wins. And yeah, she had some inactivity between her last fight and this fight. It's been a while. What would you do if you were her? You got the wins. You've strung together a lot of wins. You've had momentum. Maybe there was a little bit of an interruption there, but she's got a little bit of a resume to like make a move. She is,
I believe that's her seventh win in a row. I believe I don't have too many stats in front of me right now, but
yeah, she's
I
ranked
believe.
number 5, man.
Okay.
What do you what
That title shot, I believe, still goes to Aaron, right?
Right.
She has one more, I believe, one more good showing. I wish I had my women's ranking in front of me, but definitely maybe a fight night headliner or a co-main event, or get on a big pay-per-view card, just depending on what girl she meets. But I definitely feel one more fight, and maybe at the end of 2026, or at the latter end, we can see her fight for that belt, depending on what happens with the next title fight.
Right. That's what I was gonna ask, man. I mean, I guess you could make an argument to start getting in there, but do you really think she's ready for that? Let me just go off the top 7 real quick for you. Number
Okay.
1, Manon Fior. Number 2, Natalia Silva, who already has a fight scheduled. Alexa Grasso, who just dropped out of a fight. Aaron Blanchfield. Then it's Macy Barber. Rose Namajunas, who has a fight scheduled with Natalia Silva. And Jasmine Jazz Divicious. I mean, or number 8 even, Tracy Cortez. Does she want to go down and kind of get another tune-up, or do you think she's ready to go into the top? She is top five. I mean, it's kind of tough. I'm not sure what she wants, and I'm not sure. If I were her, I would take another tune-up ish fight. Tracy, Jasmine, Jazz Divisions. They're not tune-ups, but they're tough fights. Well, if you were giving her advice, what would you tell her?
Now that you list out those girls, man, taking on Manon Fiore, it would be really tough thinking about it coming back after that no show. And this was a good showing, but that's tough. I would love that fight. That would make sense. Tracy Cortez coming off that loss, that stoppage to Aaron.
Yeah.
And the two big, well-known names, Tracy Cortez, Macy Barber, I think would call for a nice fight night headline early next year. That would be exciting to me. Two girls. It's hard to find two girls to headline a show, so I wouldn't mind that one. Barber Cortez would be good. I like that for the marquee.
I agree. If you could get Macy Barber and Tracy Cortez on a headliner of a fight night or something like that, I think that's a good one, and I think that's a good test for Macy if she wants to kind of keep active and maybe not something that's super deep waters. Tracy's good, but let's just say she's not deep waters like Fior. And I mean, if she wanted to go up Grosso, maybe depends on why she dropped out of that fight. I don't know, man. I just Natalia Silva, she's already booked. Fior, that's a tough fight for her.
That's
Anyways,
tough.
I'm just trying to spitball here what she could do. Although she did win, and although she strung those wins together, I'm not sure where she's at as far as the top of the division. Either way, I was just curious about
Yeah.
that. Let's move forward though. Um, a great fight here. It didn't get a performance, but it probably should have. And I'm sure Dana probably took care of everybody. Lightweight bout, Terrence T-Rex McKinney against Chris Duncan. Terrence McKinney was a plus 154 underdog, a minus 185 for Chris Duncan, and it was a round one submission. Even though I thought it was a submission, I keep thinking it was a knockout, but because they were just smacking each other. What did you think, man? But I'll tell you what I think after it. But go ahead. What did you think of this fight?
I thought it was over. I thought Duncan was done. Duncan was done, and I don't know how he survived. McKinney put it on him a couple of times, man. Hit him. I thought he was out. Hit him. There was multiple times I thought it was going to get called, but somehow Duncan biting down on his mouthpiece, that grit, came back, and it's not easy to put out Terrence. It was great, a good showing of intestinal fortitude, and good for him. I liked it. I thought it was good, and yeah, it was kind of crazy how he was punching him, and just kind of like decided to roll to that submission choke. But good for him. I thought it was a great fight, back and forth action, explosive.
Yeah, they from the get go they were going at it, and they were just I either one of them could have won at any time. It was crazy. Let me give you a quick stat here, man, that I'm looking at. Do you know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? The last 6 fights Terrence McKinney has fought, they all ended in the first round.
Wow.
He has won, lost, won, and then lost, all in the first round, man. This guy, he's not working overtime. He's not all about it. It's like kill or be killed in there for T-Rex McKinney, man. And not to say, not just that, he not only his last 6 before that, he put in overtime and he got to the second round for 2 fights, first round. Look at that. He's had all his fights that I have here ended in the first round, except 2 of them, which ended in the second round. This guy's never even seen a third round. He doesn't know the definition of a
Jeez.
decision.
What when he got stopped on his losses right there, were they submissions or knockout? Was he knocked out?
So he got he got a submission against Borchev. He can do so. Yeah, he got subbed this last time, but it could have been a knockout. It was crazy, and I'm
What about
guessing
his
all
last
his
loss?
fights are like that. His last loss, he lost to Ribovics, and he lost by knockout in 37 seconds
Wow, he got
of
knocked
the, of
out,
the
man.
first
Wow.
of the first round.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. He's fought Sadikov and he got subbed in the second. That was his last. Yeah, he's fought some decent fighters and they just it's so quick. This guy is crazy, man. You know what? This guy can be on any card. I mean, I don't want a guy to get knocked out so much, but at least he's not taking too much punishment. But his fights are insane, man.
He's so
Insane.
fast.
Yeah.
He's fast. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that was a great fight. If you get a chance, man, it's 2 minutes and 30 seconds of just craziness in there. And unfortunately, like I said, I didn't get a performance bonus, but because there was another fight that I'll hit on later that was even crazier. It's insane. It was insane. It was a great fight. And then speaking of great fights, let's move forward to our featured prelim. And I think we both got this one wrong. Performance of the night, Grant Dawson, a minus 205 favorite, losing in the first round KO by Manuel Torres. Manuel Torres, a plus 170 underdog, and Manuel Torres coming through like a champ. What did you think of this, man? I was like, oh, right off the bat, I was wrong.
Yeah. I was 100% wrong about the winner, 100% right about the banger, man. God,
Yeah.
that was a great fight. Way to end the prelims. And Manuel Torres put it on Grant Dawson, etching his name as a top 50. I don't believe he had a number right next to his name, but etching his name to get bigger fights now, man. He put it on Grant Dawson and left him bloodied up, man. It was wonderful. It was good.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. He doesn't seem to be in the rankings just yet. I'm going down to 15 and no, there he is, number 13. He just moved up, number 13. Good for him, man.
Yeah.
Looks like he's in the rankings. He's good to go because I think Dawson was number 15 or something like that.
Yeah, so he
But yeah,
wasn't in there last week. Good.
so Torres is in there. It says it says right here non-ranked last time, so he's moved up,
Nice.
number 13. Yeah, great fight by Manuel Torres, man. It was really exciting, and it really got us started on the right foot.
What do you think that does to Grant Dawson?
Oh man, I don't know. Back to the drawing board. I mean, he's I think he's what 31,
Yeah.
something like that. He's like 31. I mean, you might start calling him chinny a little bit. He gets hit, man. He needs to start covering up, or maybe not getting into so much bangers, or maybe being careful with who he's fighting because Torres has got some power, and and he gets caught, and even like the last time this happened was Bobby Green. I know he's had other fights, so it's not like he's always getting knocked out or anything like that. So he needs to go to the drawing board, see where his shortcomings are, and if you can't really work on him because you just maybe he's a little chinnier than others, then he needs to work on that defense. He needs to take like the Vladimir Klitschko way and really just bone up on his defensive skills and slipping and stuff like that. Got to do it, man. If you can't take those punches, then that's what you have to work on.
Yeah, I agree, man. Two losses, two big losses to in two fights that he was favored. Got a lot of questions now. Yeah, got to get back to the drawing board and really. He's 31, you said, so there's still time, but you can't take too much time. A lot of questions to be answered in this next fight.
Yeah, he is 31. Yeah, good. All right, man. So let's move on to the first fight of the main card, and it's a light heavyweight bout between Jan Blachowicz, the former champion, and the up-and-comer Bogdan Guskov, and they fight to a majority draw. So another one, man. So at the beginning, we have the Dawson fight. That doesn't I was wrong on that one. And then here comes Blachowicz and Guskov. Man, and it's just I mean, I'm not saying it was actually I liked the fight. It was good. And it probably could have gone either way, but I thought Blachowicz edged him a little bit. But how did you see this fight?
I thought the judges got it right, man. I was happy. I was happy. I'm glad they scored that second round. 10-8. Two of the one judge gave it. It was a 10-9 on one card. So luckily,
Right.
two of the judges saw that as 10-8. I agree, man. Blachowicz started early with those leg kicks, man. Those leg kicks started early and were paying dividends because Guskov was feeling them, man. He was switching stances, but um had some success in the second round, caught him, I believe it was with the a right cross, and dropped him. Um, went for broke. Didn't blow himself out, but caused some significant damage, dropping those bombs, those elbows. Didn't get the stoppage. But overall, man, I'm just happy that the judges for me got it right in the 10-8 round, because he substantial damage was done that second round. So I was glad with the decision.
Yeah, I agree, man. When the judges do get it wrong, and it happens all the time, people call it out and they're all over them. You have to call it out, but when they get it right, you got to give them their credit. Scoring a 10-8 round in that second round, I mean, it could come back and hit you, man, in a 3-round fight, as far as like if you're a judge. But I thought it was. I can't argue with that, man. I could see it was a 10-8 round. He just got controlled and he got damaged in that second round. He was just controlled the whole time. What are you supposed to say? He clearly lost it, and he lost it by a lot. But he won the first, won the third, and that's the way it goes. You lose 10-8, and you're playing catch up the whole time. Good for the judges. It was a good scrap, and they come away with a draw, and at least none of them take the hit. I think they deserve that, and I was happy with it. Good judging, man. Good for the judges.
So that 10-8 you were good with?
Yeah, I was, and I was like, man, are they gonna score that at 10-8? I go, I can see it. I go, it's hard to give someone a 10-8 sometimes without like, I mean, sometimes I feel like it takes a lot, but I mean, if you get controlled the entire time and you're doing damage on top, I think it's enough, man. I think it's enough sometimes. It's very subjective, and it just
Yeah,
depends on what's going on. I was kind of worried for a second that they were going to stop it. So if I'm worried they're going to stop it, he must have been doing something, because I thought for a second, I think they're going to stop it. I think they're going to stop it, and they didn't. Good for the ref that he didn't, because Blachowicz came back and won the third. So I mean,
exact. Yeah.
obviously he wasn't done yet.
Yeah, I agree, man. If someone almost gets stopped, that doesn't like constitute a 10-8, right? Like you said, it was for such a long time that he was taking damage, a couple of minutes, that he was, yeah, taking damage over a long period of time. And good, man. Yeah, I'm glad that we agreed to that.
Yeah. All right, man. So let's move forward to our next fight, the bantamweight bout. The former champion, the former double champion, the Triple C, Henry Cejudo, in his final fight of his illustrious career, and he drops a unanimous decision to Peyton Talbot, the up and comer, the blue chipper. And Cejudo was a plus 230 underdog, a minus 285 favorite for Talbot, and Talbot coming through with flying colors. And this fight was that's the way to end it, man. This is a way to end a career. This is a way to start your ascent into the UFC for Peyton Talbot. What did you think of this fight, man?
Man, what a way to go for Henry Cejudo. Really cementing himself as a warrior, man. He
Right.
started he
He
started
did.
as a warrior, became champion, Hall of Fame, accolades, all that. But in the end, he's going out the same way he came in, as a warrior, man. It was just he trained. Peyton Talbot was game. Peyton Talbot, you didn't see a second rate, Peyton Talbot. Peyton Talbot was throwing. He wanted to win. He wanted to finish. He was there to fight. And Henry Cejudo not once showed that he didn't want to be there or was ready to give up, and just for his swan song or right away in the sunset, man. I really like this. It really gave me. I already had respect for Sudo. He was one of my favorites watching coming up, but just seeing him go out this way, man, just did something for me. I loved it. I got so much respect for him, and we should be seeing him in the Hall of Fame here in the next couple of years, man.
Yeah. What did you think of Peyton Talbot's wrestling improvement? Or
I like it, man. I like it. He was much bigger, so I don't know if you do that with a bigger guy, someone of that caliber, but his same size of Henry Cejudo's wrestling. So that's something to see, but it's much improved. You can tell, man. Taking down and controlling Cejudo like that, no matter what his age is always going to be hard to do. And he showed, man. He showed that he's been training all aspects of his game, man. And I just wish I don't know how Cejudo didn't get taken out, man. Those shots he was hitting them with were sharp and hard. And I'm excited for Payne. That's two in a row now, and
Yeah.
it seems to be back on. And this is a big name, so he has to get another big name after this. So hopefully, but I'm excited to see Peyton, man, and him getting back in that driver's seat.
Yeah, there was so much to be said about the career of Henry Cejudo. Good, bad, like him, hate him. He was all over the place, man. He's covered so much in this sport and in combat sports in general. Good for Henry Cejudo, man, because I wasn't always the biggest Cejudo fan. I wasn't always the biggest fan of his style and everything, but you know what? Good for him. He comes through, finishes it, finishes his career, and I would say actually since his comeback, he's had exciting fights, and what a way to finish things, to feel good about yourself. And this is one criticism I'll have on sometimes on some fighters, man. I don't. They want to end their career, untouched, undefeated, and yeah, that should always be the goal. But what are you so worried about, man? Like, so I saw Talbot in an interview, and he did say he's like, you know, he called Cejudo Old Yeller, and he took him out, and then he goes, "But so one day I'm gonna be that guy, and someone's gonna take me out." Henry Cejudo did not shy away from a fight. Okay, he fought Peyton Talbot, who's young, who's a blue chipper, and he took that fight, and he went in there and he made it exciting. He didn't try to just get through it. He wasn't in it for a payday. And what he did is he put Peyton over.
Yeah,
That's
oh,
what
yeah, yeah. What you're supposed to do.
when you get, yeah, I mean, it's a not okay, I'm not so sure it's a but it's what should be happening, man.
Yeah.
This organization or this sport doesn't go forward without its stars. You need the stars. And when it's your time, you fight the young guys, and either you beat them and you live another day, or you put them over. I liken it to when Vladimir Klitschko fought Anthony Joshua, and Vladimir Klitschko was a dominant champion for a long time, and then the young champion comes in, and he fights them, and he puts them over. But Vladimir Klitschko ended his career on that fight in a spectacular performance, and probably there was a lot of criticism for his whole career about being bored, even though most of his fights ended in knockouts. That he would get like this boring aura about him, but
I remember.
at the end, it's like this is how he ends it. It's spectacular showing. You don't always have to win. What was that line from White Man Can't Jump, man? Sometimes when you win, you actually lose, and sometimes when you lose, you actually you actually
And so
win, and
that
sometimes when you win or lose, you actually tie.
great Rosie
It's not,
Perez, Rosie
yeah,
Perez.
Rosie Perez, man. She that it's kind of like one of those things, man. But good for Cejudo. It was an entertaining fight, and I like the way he ended it. He had a great montage, and I mean that's the way you want to do it. What do you think of Cejudo, man? How he did his comeback, came back after I maybe he left premature. I'm like, if you're ready to leave, you're ready to leave. But maybe it's your opinion if he left premature or not. But he comes back, does one, two, three, four fights, including this last one. He loses all of them, but I mean, is that a mistake coming back? What do you think about his comeback?
I don't think it's a mistake coming back. Obviously, he still had it. He's a top fighter. Leaving and relinquishing all the belt, that's a mistake to me, man. I hate when doesn't happen often. I hate it when my, John Jones is my favorite fighter. I hate how he just relinquishes his belt. But if you're gonna leave at the top, you should be set in stone that you're done. You're done. I don't understand why people leave their belts and then try to come back, because obviously look what happened. It didn't work. Unless you're John Jones, you're not. It's very, very probably tougher to regain your belt than to actually win it for that first time. And he never got back to that mountaintop. But this fight did a lot for him. I believe, man. If he would have went out like he lost his last couple of fights, he would have still been considered a legend and a Hall of Famer. But I think this fight just shows and cements it as that he always belonged. It's hard to say if it was a mistake or not, but I'm glad he came back, and obviously I'm glad that he did this one final great fight against young up and coming stud like Talbot.
Right, man. You know what? So was I, because like I said, I wasn't always the biggest Cejudo fan, and when he left, I was such not a fan of Cejudo. I was like, "Good, just leave then."
Yeah.
And it really wasn't like I felt nothing about when he left. I know maybe some people did, but I didn't really. I was just like, "Okay, who's next?" But so he's done in May of 2020, comes back May of 2023, loses to Sterling barely. I actually thought he won. Loses to Merab, loses to Song Yadong, and then now loses to Peyton Talbot. But you know what, man? It actually, I think this was more fitting for him to go out this way. He lost 4 in a row, and you could that may translate into that was the wrong decision to come back. But I actually think it was the right decision to come back, not only for the fans, and he doesn't seem to kind of just be leaving on a whim. He comes back, makes some great fights, and not only that, but he probably answers a lot of questions of himself. Nothing's worse than like leaving, feeling you have unfinished business, or maybe you had more to give and you didn't do it, even if you lose. And he doesn't have to ask himself that anymore. It seemed like he was done, and I like that. I like that he came back. He was still a decent fighter, a good fighter. He got it out of his system, and now maybe he can go off and he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to answer these questions anymore. They won't linger in his mind, especially if you're like that guy who you leave early, and then maybe like when you're 45, you want to get back in there, and you're taking these crazy fights, man. It just doesn't need to happen. And I'm not saying he would have done that, but I don't think he has to worry about that anymore. That he's answered all these questions, and I think he got it out of his system, and it's good for him. I like it. It's weird how he comes back, loses 4 times in a row, and he goes out. I I'm I like him better now
You be
than when he left on top.
Yeah, you became a more of, I'm not saying a fan, but yeah, you appreciate it more after he was champion.
Right. Yeah,
Not
it's strange. It's strange the way that works out, but that's the way I feel about it. And like I said, when he left, I was like, whatever. I didn't even I was didn't it didn't I didn't care about it really. And then now it's just like, oh man, that sucks. What a great career. I probably would have not given him a even a thought before, but it was a great fight, and I think the last
great
4
fight.
fights answered a lot of questions for him. It's gonna be sad because he was a double champion and Olympic champion. He had a lot to offer. He had a lot of attitude. Good for him, man. It was a great career. Can't wait to see him in the Hall of Fame.
Well, yeah, man, he saved that division, and
He did.
for reason that's why the next fight we're going to talk about is even around because of Henry Cejudo. They say.
Yeah, great call by Peyton Talbot to say that. I know a lot of people share that idea that he saved the flyweight division. Speaking of the flyweight division, let's move forward to our first flyweight bout here, and it's the former champion Brandon Moreno going up against Tatsuro Taira, and Brandon Moreno losing a second round knockout ground and pound. And I was wrong about this one too. I thought Brandon Moreno was gonna do this. A little controversy, not the greatest night for Mark Smith, the referee Mark Smith.
Oh,
In there, he had another
Jesus.
hiccup in there with Macy Barber. What did you think of this fight?
Great Mark Smith, man. Tough, tough night. No, Mark Smith is a good referee. I like him. He's not up there with the greatest referee, but he's been around. But um Jesus, Brandon Moreno, so close to getting that choke in that first round, man. He had that for a
Yeah,
few minutes. He re-cinched, readjusted. I thought it was there, but God, that back of that kid, man, he's huge. That kid is humongous. And let's see how long that weight cut can I don't have my stats. I don't even know how tall he is, but Jesus, he looked. I don't know. Yeah, again, I talked to you that night, and I don't know if it was that Brandon Moreno is so small or if this guy is just so big. The size discrepancy was just crazy and apparent. But Brandon Moreno, good first round, came out. That second round just didn't go his way. Rewatching it, man, he did take some bombs to the back. I'm sure he could have took more, but what I saw, what I took from watching that fight that second time, he was flattening Brandon Moreno out multiple times. So I'm not sure Brandon Moreno would have got out after, because like I said, it looked like Tatsuro had full control and we're just going to continue on in that second round doing the same thing he was doing before it got stopped. So all in all, in the end, controversy a little bit for Brandon Moreno, but I don't see it going differently if the fight would have kept going.
Right. Yeah. It was a triangle, right, in the first.
Yes. Yes.
So Brandon Moreno had him in a triangle for most of the round, and I gave the first round to Brandon Moreno.
It was deep. It was
I
deep.
and I don't know what the official scorecard said, but I had Brandon Moreno winning that first round with that triangle for the whole time. And man, Tyre is so lean. I don't know how he was able to take that, or he was so lean it wasn't affecting him. I also was wondering if having the triangle that long on Tyra the first round, if that kind of weakened up Brandon Moreno a little bit. So when he did get flattened out in the second round, or maybe he got knocked down because his legs were a little bit weakened. Maybe I don't know, but sometimes when you're on the offensive and you're doing what you need to do, it's a double-edged sword with those submission attempts, especially a triangle when you're wrapping up someone's back and you're locking them up with your legs. That's a hard situation to be in if you can't stop that person. So Brandon Moreno, yeah, like you said, he gets flattened out from the back. Then Tyra landing some side shots, ground and pounds on the ears, clean shots. He was really watching his punches and
Yeah.
sharpshooting Brandon Moreno, not wasting a whole lot of energy. And as soon as Brandon Moreno would try to square up, or he would try to get his base, Tyra would just flatten him out again. That was a good job by Tyra. It was tough for Brandon Moreno. It was tough for Mark Smith on the call at the time when that happened. Yeah, I thought it was a little early. I still think it was a little early, but I'm not really upset about it, even though that this Brandon Moreno, I thought he was going to win. But I can't be mad at it, man. I mean, what are you supposed to do? Brandon Moreno is 31 years old. He's still young. He doesn't need to be taking sustained damage. It was a high stakes fight, so sometimes I would want to give that fighter just a little bit more time. But he is 31 years old. The safety of the fighters is paramount. He has plenty of time. Maybe if he was like 37, I would be like, oh, this is it. But I think he still has time if he wants to get back in there. And it's a rejuvenated flyweight division for the moment. So I can't fault Mark Smith too much, even though I didn't agree with it. But I'm not mad at it or anything like that. And congratulations to Tyra. I didn't think he was going to win, but he did. He's coming through, beat a former champion, and now he gets his name's being tossed around now. It's being tossed around because we've got a whole new division. Yeah, I mean I feel bad for Moreno. And we'll see what happens with him after this, and we'll see where he lands, because I'm not sure what's going to happen, because they are throwing his name around. All right, man. So
Yeah.
the flyweight division gets some new faces. And speaking of the flyweight division, we're moving on to our co-main event, the flyweight title bout. Alessandro Pantoja, who was the current champion, versus Joshua Van, who was the young up-and-comer green guy from Myanmar. A lot of hopes and dreams here. And this fight had a lot of, I would say questions, but it was a lot of, I want to call it a long shot, but it was, young guy versus established veteran champion, dominant champion. And this thing ended in a freak, I want to say it's an accident, but it was in freakish circumstances, man. So Pantoja goes down with an injury in round one, 26 seconds into the first round, and Joshua Van becomes the new flyweight champion of the world. What did you think of the 26 seconds of this one?
Jesus. How Josh Van's life has changed in the last 6, 7 months. Do you have stats in front of you right now?
As
Who
far
was
as
his
what? Yeah.
who was his fight? When was it before he stepped in against Royval on that International Fight Week?
Before Royval?
Yes.
A month before. So he
And who
fought
did,
June 7th, and then he fought, oh no, less than a month. He fought June 7th, and then he fought
and
June 28th. What, 3
who did he
weeks?
fight? Who did he fight on that 7th?
Bruno Silva.
From 3 fights ago, June 7, what is that, 7 months ago? From fighting Bruno Silva, probably unranked. 7 months later, you're the new world champ, beating probably one of the greatest fighters at that division ever. That just shows you how people's lives can change in a blink of an eye, man. As far as the fight goes, like you said, just a fluke, man. How, you never see this coming, especially for a jiu-jitsu guy like Pantoja, who's taken that, has been taken down like that hundreds of, thousands and thousands
Yeah.
and thousands of times, and just that it's a fluke, man. It's just crazy to me how that happens. Yeah, man. Who know? I'm just lost of words. But congratulations to Josh Van, man. Nothing he did wrong. People were a little bit oh, you shouldn't be celebrating that much and blah blah. You just won the world title, man. Like, what can he
Yeah, no.
do? I like what he said. He blocked that head kick. He blocked that head kick. He was aggressive.
Yeah.
He was getting, he was going down towards Pandoja to look for, I'm sure he was gonna go down with them. And he did everything correctly, man. There's nothing you can fault for him. I don't know these snowflakes, man, saying that you shouldn't celebrate, but these guys will never know how it even is to get close to winning anything like the UFC belt. So all kudos to Josh Fan and celebrating however the hell he wants, and let's see what happens next. Because like me and you talked about, who knows how long Pantoja is going to be out.
Right. Did you think it was the elbow or the shoulder? I still haven't got a definitive answer about whether it was the elbow or the shoulder. I don't
They
know.
said they said it was a shoulder. I'll do some more reading later, but definitely I was watching something on Instagram with an MMA doctor, and he was explaining it. It's only been a couple of days, so I haven't really. I'm just getting back into town and really learning what it really was. So to me, it looked like the elbow. Everyone was surprised it was a shoulder, but what I'm hearing and the little bit of reading I did, it was the shoulder.
Yeah, Dana White made it seem like he was sure it was the shoulder, and I was kind of like, man, it looked like his elbow. I don't know, man. I'm not a doctor, so either way, it was a crazy injury. You know what? Let me hit on a few things here about Joshua Van, okay? Because this is the thing, man. Take a cue from Joshua Van. Get in there. Activity matters, man. Activity. I mean, he wasn't at the top of the division, and he's fighting fighters that are not exactly. I don't want to say they're not good, but they're not top of the division. So you can fight more at the lower ranked guys, or like out of ranking. December 7th, 2024, 1 calendar year from last week's fight. No one knows who probably no one knows who Joshua Van is. No one knows who he is. 1 calendar year later, he fights 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is his fifth fight, 1 calendar year, and he's a champion of the world now. So I
Amazing.
mean, if he was if he was on like everybody else's schedule, like, oh, I'm gonna fight once, twice, I need to be at 100%. Whatever. If he's thinking that mindset, I mean, this whole thing is taking him like 4 years to do. 4 years to get to a title fight and win. He did it in 1 calendar year because why? Because he fought. He fights December 7th, March 8th, December 7th of 2024, March 8th, June 7th, June 28th, and then now December 6th. Two of those fights are against top competition, Royval and Pantoja. Yeah, it was a freak accident for the Pantoja thing, but still, he's a champion of the world now, and you never know what's going to happen in these fights. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of elements in that cage, and you got to, fortune favors the brave. He went
Yeah.
forward, did what he needed to do, and he fought. So I'm glad, and now his name's being thrown around there for fighter of the year as well. It was supposed to be Merab, and now who knows? It could be Merab, it could be Van, but now his name's in there because why? Because he's fighting, and you gotta admit it looks he goes from 5 fights and he probably got so much better with all that activity. He's super young, so he can you can do that when you're a little bit when you're younger. So
Yeah.
good for him, man. This guy goes from unknown to the champion of the world, um, in one calendar year. That's crazy. That's crazy. So let me talk about how it happened. I like that we don't. No one was getting the better of one of the other because remember when the eye poke with Aspinall and Gane, everybody was kind of saying like, well, Aspinall looked a little like he was getting beat up, but it was only one round. You
Yeah.
can't really tell. And this one, at least, no one knows what was going on. They both started quickly. And they
Oh,
were
they
pretty
came out.
aggressive
They
to
came out.
start,
They
and
came out.
they
They came out.
matched each other's aggression, and I liked that, and it looked like it was about to be a really good fight, man.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm kind of mad about that. Oh man, it's not that who won and how it was. I'm like, damn, that was probably going to be a pretty good fight right there, man. And we didn't get to see it because of the accident. But you know, like I did hear Joshua Van say this, and you just said it. He he caught the kick or blocked it, and then he pushed him down. And you got to know that that's part of fighting. That he didn't, Pantoja didn't walk out there and just kind of like break his leg.
Yeah.
He got pushed. He got put in a position that it could happen a million times, but that time it cost him his title, and that's not. It's Joshua Van's fault because he did that to him,
Yeah.
and but it's not like okay. So if you want to say Pantoja didn't lose, okay, but Joshua Van did win. He won that fight. And as far as people saying he shouldn't be celebrating, dude, it's not like Pantoja was like dead. No one,
Yeah.
his arm got busted, and it wasn't like he was dying or something like that, or he was like having seizures or something like that. That's a little bit maybe okay, but not only that, Joshua Van, he's young. He just won the world title. He only got to fight for 26 seconds of a fight. He was probably ready to go 5 rounds of war, and he only gets to fight 26 seconds. What do you want him to do with all that aggression, man? What do you want him to do with all that excitement? It's got to go
Exactly.
somewhere. And for all these people who are saying like he shouldn't be celebrating, it's like, dude, you can't stop yourself. That it's got to go somewhere, man. That's just physics. You can't just. You got to get yourself to a point where you're ready to go. Fight someone a top guy, the top guy, a champion for 5 rounds, and you're telling me that you need to control yourself after
Crazy.
you just beat him in 26 seconds? No, man. Like
Yeah.
that is control what he did. That is
Yeah.
control. So all these people who are talking about that saying I don't know who they're the politically correct police or whatever, but
Jesus
they have to
Christ.
understand it. And if they can go and they can go do a sparring session or something like that, and they can find out how much nerve it takes to get into that octagon. And and if they ever feel any kind of if they could even feel half the the joy he probably felt in that life in their life, then they can tell me how they handled it, man. That's
Exactly.
just ridiculous. But congratulations to Joshua Van. A lot of things going on. We don't know who he's gonna fight next. There's a lot of speculation going around. Tyra in Japan, all kinds of stuff,
Oh,
man. Hey,
already.
the
Already.
UFC wants. I think Dana wants that Japan show, man. That's
What
I mean, he
what
probably
is
wants it,
Josh
but
Van? Is he Filipino? What is he?
he's from Myanmar.
Okay.
It's a pretty war torn country, man. It's pretty bad out there. Yeah, it's not. Ugh, it's a rough place to live. So he's from Myanmar. I don't even know how you say that. I don't even know
Yeah.
how you say it, but that's where he's from. I do know about like there's a lot. It's a troubled place, man. It's a troubled country as far as like there it's a rough place for the for the most part. But yeah,
Yeah. Well,
uh, we'll see. We'll see what happens with him, and we'll see how long it takes Pantoja to get back in it back into the octagon. Yeah, well, so I don't know. I don't know.
question.
I'll wait for the yeah.
Do you think say Pantoja's under a year? Does he get it? Does he get an immediate title shot if he wants it? and the timeline lines up. They don't have something booked. It lines up.
I do think he should get an immediate title shot. I don't think Joshua Van should be waiting for that immediate
No.
title shot. Joshua Van didn't take any damage in this fight, and I know he just fought against Royval, so maybe a little bit of a break for him, couple months. I mean, he's young, so he can do that. He took no damage in this. He didn't even get it wasn't even he didn't even get tired because of the way it ended. So sure, I don't think he needs to wait for Pantoja. Even if Pantoja does even if it's not serious, he's going to be out for at least half a year, 4 months at the very least, just to get over things. It depends on the injury and what it is. He might want to take a fight with just to get some confidence in that arm. Luckily, it's not. He's right-handed. He's right-handed and it's his left arm, so that's pretty good. But no, I think Joshua Van should move forward, and if he wants to defend quickly, yeah, I mean, that's the kind of, liberty, that's the kind of freedom that only a 24-year-old can, 24-year-old champion can take. You know, you can do anything at that age and bounce back very quickly. But yeah, I think when Pantoja comes back, and it doesn't matter who the champion is, if Van loses it, I think Pantoja gets an immediate rematch against almost anybody just because of the way it ended. I think it's fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's done a lot.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, what did you think, yeah, he deserves a rematch to anybody?
Yeah. I think
Van
unless
or
I
whoever else?
thought even if he got lost, unless it was devastating fashion, getting just starched, I think he deserved what he's done and brought some great things to that division. I think he should have deserved a shot regardless. Losing this way or losing in
Yeah.
a close fight or a one-sided fight, as long as he didn't get starched, I thought he would be deserving of an immediate rematch just based on what he's done and the defenses he's made.
Yeah, it's not like Tosha has to come back and beat Van. So Van didn't have the title. It's not like, "Oh, well, I want Van." No, it's not like it's a rivalry thing yet, which is good. It just means, like, as soon as whoever wins that title, they got someone waiting in the wings for 'em that's gonna be a tough fight for whoever has the title at that time.
Yeah, it's always great for the best thing about new champions is everyone can get back in line now. Just like you said, Tatsuro's probably next or whoever, but that doesn't mean Brandon is a few fights away. He can come back in the tire eliminator. We got a big fight that we'll talk about. Obviously we'll talk about later with Manuel Cape versus Brandon Royval. That has big implications even more now for this weekend. So that's what I love about new champions
Right.
is that everyone gets kind of a rejuvenation and a restart, especially to someone who's never had the belt.
Right. Right. And he's a young champion, man. Those guys can
Young,
fight often.
yeah,
Good for him. Good for him. And like I said, he's fought 5 times in the last year, calendar year. So I would say just a little bit of a break, just a little bit for him, but not too long. I think he can get squeeze someone before Pantoja comes back, if not more than one.
yeah.
But good for him. All right, man. All right, let's go there. Let's move on, man. The main event here. The main event, revenge or repeat, and it was sweet, sweet revenge for the former and once again bantamweight champion of the world, Piotr Jan, coming through like Bret Hart, the excellence of execution. That's what it was, man. He did everything right, man. He did everything right, and it was quite a show, man. It ended in a unanimous decision. Piotr Jan, unanimous decision against Merab Dvalishvili, unthroning Merab for the first time in a long time. I think it was like 2017 against Ricky Simone, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
Piotr Jan was a plus 370 underdog, minus 485 favorite for Merab, huge favorite. And Piotr Jan comes through like the champion is. What did you think of this fight, man?
Man, I had so many names. I was gonna call you Brandon Lee. You were gonna be the Crow, man. I had so much stuff going. But man, what a great call you made on it. Perfect. It was like you saw your crystal ball and you called it right on. It was just perfect. Merab just he looked good, man, but Peter Yan just had every answer in the book for him. When you thought, oh, here we go, Merab is about to turn it on, Peter Yan just stopped his going forward, and just always it felt like he just always had an answer. He had it written down. He knew what he was gonna do, stuck to it, and yeah, new champion of the world. I love it. Like you know, new champions are always great, and I just want to talk to you, man. How did you see this coming? I had no, you know, I didn't see this coming from left field. So I want to talk more to you and just you know, you mentioned the training camps, but you know, how did you see this?
So yeah, man. When I started, like when I was looking at it, and I remember because I was looking on my phone, I was just kind of like researching it. And I'm like, oh, I don't know, man. Like Marah has been, he fought in October, and it almost 2 months to the day after a 5 round unanimous decision against Sandhagen, and I saw Sandhagen he had some pretty good success, even though he lost like every round. I just saw some success by Sandhagen. It just looks like Merab just little by little, it seems like people were having more success and more success and more success against him. And he was just, when it was like, I want to fight again in 2 months. And it's just the activity, man. If you've gone through training camps, that's the thing. When I made that post, I said, I don't know, man, that's a lot of training camps. I remember one person said something like, there's training camps every fight. That makes no sense. But there's not championship training camps. 4 in a year, 4 title defenses, 5 title defenses altogether. And it's just it's a whole lot. And then as soon as this fight was done, I started hearing people say something about the weight cut was rough. And it's like, yeah, I training camp weight cut comes with a training camp. It's the training camp, it's the weight cut, it's all of that. And it's the whole, it really does a number to you. And that's what I was thinking. Merab probably felt great. Like it sneaks up on you. Like, and when you're in there, you're like, I can't do what I'm trying to do. But the thing about it is, I thought Merab fought really well. And if it wasn't for Petr Yan doing exactly what he needed to do perfectly, if he was off a little bit, he could have got caught. But he did everything right. And not only did he was beating Merab to the punch on everything. He beat up Merab pretty bad in his face, man.
It was nasty.
So it was just kind of like, I was like, he was getting to him, dude. And see when Merab, I think he was I think that the training camps and the weight cuts had a lot to do with it, but it didn't have anything to do with like how good of a fighter he is. He was doing a lot in there, and he took those body shots, and anybody else would have been done. The way he screamed when he got kicked in, when he got took that liver shot, I was like, damn. So he was in good shape. He But it was just I think it only took a little bit for Jan. And and I don't know, I don't want to say that Jan couldn't have beat him if those training camps weren't so close together, but it doesn't really matter, man. The fact of the matter is he fought four times in 1 year, and then he had 5 title defenses, and it doesn't matter, man. It's tough. It gets to people. Like I said, it happens to people. Pajeda, it happens to Izzy, and Merab is now he's the next victim of it, man. Like, as much as I praise Joshua Van for fighting a lot, man, but at the championship level, I don't care how old you are, man. You can't. It's tough to put camps like that together to fight top-notch guys, and that's what I saw. And it's just it's hard to do that. So much so that I was like, I don't think Merab's gonna be able to do this. Petr Yan's too good at what it's gonna take to because Petr Yan's he's all around guy. He can strike, he can wrestle, he can do a lot of stuff.
He looked good.
So I thought
He
that
looked
was
good.
I thought that was the formula to beat Merab. If it was Sean O'Malley, I'm not sure that that would have happened. But either way, Peter Yan comes in. He gets the title back, and now the bantamweight division is wide open. Let me ask you this, man. Obviously, Merab wants to get back in there. It looks like he wants an immediate rematch. Uh, Merab has had 5 title defenses. He was dominant. And so much so that people thought that he was going to run over Petr Yan again because last time he blanked him. What do you think, man? Does Merab get an immediate title shot? Okay, does he, or should he? Like, not should he even be thinking that right now? What do you think?
It all comes down to that fight that's coming up for me against with Sugar Sean and Song Yadong. That really, I think, has a big emphasis on it because I think that's going to lead right into the White House card. You know how much Dana White loves Sugar Sean. And on the other hand, does Merab step back? Does he say, "Hey, do his does his inner circle say, Merab, you know, yeah, you've built enough. Let's chill. Let's talk with Dana and see how much time we can take off for an immediate rematch, because he has to know, if you're saying it, if other people are now saying it, how much enough is enough, I don't know how his time frame of his fights, but 4 fights in 1 year, that means you're in camp 12 months of 12 months. Each fight camp's usually 3 months.
Yeah,
If you're in fight championship, and exactly, I like how you said that, championship fight camps. You're training for the time. If you're in camp 12 of 12 months, man, I didn't even think of that the last time we talked. That is just insane to say, man. And only there's few
yeah.
and far. You can't. There's not people doing that, man. So maybe let's see what Marab does. He is on. Is he what 34, 33, or I don't know how old he's. How old is he?
He is 34.
34. So he's not
Yeah,
35. He's
34.
mid 30. So he really has to ask himself, how much time does he want to take, or does he have that machine mentality? Excuse me. Of I want to get right back in there because he doesn't want to lose. He knows. He sees it too. If Sugar wins, man. It's hard. That Dana White privilege is just crazy. Who knows if Sugar gets the
Yeah.
shot right after that, man? Because you've seen it. You've seen it against, especially Peter Yan, who might have been robbed that fight, wants that fight as well because he knows he brings names too. That close. It wasn't close to me. I thought Peter Yan won, but getting that fight back from Sugar Sean, that just all aligns, man. So there's a lot of questions to be asked. How does Marab feel? Where does Sean go if he wins? So there's a lot of stuff for me that needs to happen to figure out who's the next challenger for that belt.
Yeah. I heard John Wood on Helwani's show, man. He even said that he would like Marab to take a
Okay,
vacation
so
and
yeah.
actually get out, get away from the whole, just completely disconnect and kind of take a break, man. And I think that that's great advice. But also did say Marab's going to do what Marab's want to do. If Marab wants to lose again, take this fight quickly. If they even offer it to him. I think the best thing to happen to Merab is Sean O'Malley wins. He beats Song Yadong, and it's actually, and if O'Malley can do it spectacularly, I think Dana White is just foaming at the mouth to get Yan and O'Malley in the octagon because I think he wants O'Malley to have that title again. Um, I'm not to say he's gonna do anything crazy, but I think he wants it to happen. I think he at least wants O'Malley to be fighting for the title this next year and against Peter Yan, and I think that's a more winnable fight for O'Malley than Merab. Certainly, Merab later, after a rest. So I think the best thing that could happen to Merab is that O'Malley wins. Dana's like, I want O'Malley versus Yan, and Merab just take a break. He needs to take like 6 months. He needs to take like 6 months off, and he needs to not work out or not like do combat workouts for about 3 months. He can work out and do some just cardio type stuff, fine, but he needs to let his body rest and not. He got beat up. He needs to let all of that heal, and I think when he comes back, he'll be exactly who he was before. He needs to heal up the whole body, man. It's so he
He
may
might,
not.
yeah.
He may want an immediate one, but it's I think if O'Malley wins, that's not going to happen, and that's actually the best thing. I think if he wants an immediate rematch and O'Malley loses, or something happens, or he gets hurt or whatever, and Merab goes in there against Peter Yan, say in like May to like April, May, it is not good. I think we might be looking at the same thing. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens with that. What did you think of the scorecards? Wasn't it like 4-1,
Uh,
4-1, and 3-2 on one of them?
that's 4-1 is okay. I don't know what round you would get. They were all close, man. But like I said, I thought that the judging was right on this fight as well. We spoke about another fight where the compy box was higher for some. Oh, for the Vittori fight, the compy box was higher for not on the take. What was surprising, the takedowns was more for Jan, but the striking was in favor of Merab. But I just love how the judges are scoring damage more for the fighters now. I love it. There was a time, a couple, even just recently, that I just didn't feel like people were getting the scoring when they were causing big damage. A lot of wrestling was being taken into account. I like that they're taking ring and
Mhm.
control into account more, but I've really seen a leap in that damage category. And another good showing for the judges for me again in this fight because they got it right, man. And they need to continue, and they need to however they do their score, because all these judges get scored and the referees do their score. I need them to keep talking about how they got it right because yeah, I don't understand how some. I was going to ask you the same thing. How some of these people thought that Merab may have won, or it was a robbery and Merab won this. And I was going to ask you your opinions. I had to watch the fights on mute. I was somewhere. I was watching it on my phone, so I didn't hear too much of the commentary. But I heard some stuff already. That DC, your boy, was saying some stuff that Merab was winning. So I wanted to get your opinion on that. How was
Yeah.
the commentating?
I didn't hear it so well. I was in a
Okay.
restaurant, but I didn't get to hear I heard it, but I didn't hear it like super well or anything like that. But I was seeing what people were saying and stuff like that, and I text you during the fight. I think it was I had a 3-0. Now I did say that the rounds were close. I think 4-1 is a decent card, is a good card. I actually had a 5-0, but that first round could have gone to Merab. But after that, I don't think I just didn't see another round for Merab. And I was trying to be conservative because I didn't want to get too excited about what was happening. I
Yeah.
didn't want to make it seem like but I couldn't give Merab any other round except the first one. And even then I was kind of like I don't know. I did tell you I have it 3-0 after the third. So there was a lot of people, a lot of experts. They had Merab winning, but like I've told you before, even those experts were kind of like, I have Merab winning. I don't know why I do though. And they didn't. They actually were saying that their scorecard was wrong, but they scored it that way. It was weird, and I guess I could see that a little bit. Um, and if you're an expert, go ahead. Everyone makes mistakes or whatever. It's just the way it is. But you're a judge. You don't get a repeat. So at least the right person won. It wasn't even a split, which I liked. Yeah, if you have a 3-2 and you're like, man, I don't know how I did it that way, you need to look at your scoring and just fix it a little bit, tweak it a little bit. I do like that the judges seem to be getting better, like you said. And, just laying on someone or a takedown isn't worth like a knockdown type thing. You gotta be aggressive. It's gotta be effective. It can't just be, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna lay on this guy.
Yeah. This fight was kind of weird, man. I watched it twice. If I had to put a score on it, I'd say 5-0. But this fight for me was, overall score. Like the Jan fight, the Jan Blachowicz, you can say one goes to Blachowicz, two goes to Guskov, three
Right.
goes this fight kind of, not that you can't score that way, but overall for me, it was more of an overall score. I don't know. It was a weird scoring fight, like you said, man. But I definitely had Peter Yan easily win, easily, not even three. If anything, 4-1, like you said. But I had a 5-0 after watching it twice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a that's something that the judges don't get. They don't get a second chance. So, as long as the right person won and the person who scored it 3-2, they just look at your scorecard, look at the fight, and just tweak your judging a little bit, and I think you should be fine. I mean, it happens to all judges. I judge amateur fights, and it's tough sometimes, man. I'm sitting there. I have like 30 seconds to make a decision. I'm just kind of like, oh, I don't know. So it can be it can be a little aggravating, kind of like what do I
Yeah,
do? What do I do? So yeah. Either way, Peter Yan gets the title
great
back.
call,
It was a
man.
fight of the night. I mean, it was a good fight. It was a good, not just that, it was a good fight. So it was fight of the night. And yeah, man, I appreciate that. I just, sometimes you get things right, and you see things, and that's why I don't like calling casuals people casuals online and stuff like that. They're or use it as some sort of as an insult. It just sometimes people know what they're talking about, and sometimes people they call it right. You never really know, because everyone thought Merab was gonna win.
Yeah,
Even I was kind of like, dude, I don't know why I'm doing this, but you know the odds makers, they do this for a living, and it just happens sometimes. But and that's the way it goes. Congratulations to Peter Yan, man. I can't wait to
yeah,
see what
yeah.
happens in the bantamweight division. It's wide open now, and we're gonna see some excitement here. Not to say that Merab wasn't, but he had a stranglehold on that division, and now it's busted wide open. And not only that, when a champion loses, a lot of people get a lot more brave. They're willing to fight that guy, and maybe some young guys are like, maybe I'm not so afraid of Merab anymore. Maybe there's a game plan here. And Merab, hey, sometimes people turn old overnight. It is a lower weight division, lighter. Who knows, man? It has happened before. It almost happened to Jan. He went on a skid as well. But we'll see.
I
It's exciting, man. It's exciting going.
Yeah,
What's that?
I just see this as a Dana White's big plan to get Sugar back in there. I don't know, man. I don't know why that I feel Sugar's gonna somehow get that belt back somehow, some crazy way.
If Sean O'Malley wasn't super excited for his fight against Song Yadong. I heard him saying something about like, I'm the third fight on the card. I've fallen off. Well, if you needed some extra motivation for that Song Yadong fight, if you needed some extra motivation to go out there and look insane, this is it. This is it, man. I mean, I'm
Y-
sure Dana White was on the phone with him like, oh, you better win that next one.
Yeah, you're
you
right.
better
It's
you
probably his
better look
first
good.
call. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, give me a reason to put you in there, man. Come on, don't let me down. And because I mean, Sean O'Malley has a following, man. Like I said, it's a business. But he puts people in those seats, man. He sure as hell would. He'll get viewers. He'll get subscribers. On a White House card, guaranteed. So yeah, hey man, I can't knock it, man. He's a businessman, and this is a business, and things like that. Anyways, man, so good card. I'm glad the way it ended. I was very happy with it. I was very happy with what happened with my pick,
Oh,
and I came through, even though I had a bunch of other picks on there that didn't go my way. But it doesn't matter. I won that title fight at the end, and I was very, very excited about that. And to hell with those stupid posters, and those posters on Instagram or Facebook, whatever it was. I don't even know how to dig up a post, man. I was like, I don't even know how to do this. So I didn't get to talk any crap to anybody, but I can feel good that I knew what I was talking about, and people call me casual,
perfect
whatever.
call, man. That was
Um,
perfect, perfect,
Before I let
perfect.
you go, man, thank you. We're gonna hit. You wanted to hit on the other card later on in the week, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So I'm gonna let you go, but real quick, man. You know what? I wanted to just a quick opinion on this. So I've been hearing people, they're complaining about how the rankings mean nothing, the rankings mean nothing, and I was kind of thinking to myself, okay, you don't always follow the rankings about getting title shots and things like that. It's not exactly a complete meritocracy when it comes to that. But do you think they should get rid of the rankings?
No, I love the rankings. It shows, it gives an outline. It may not be perfect to people's liking, but it gives an outline, man. It gives an outline to what's next for the champion, who's close to each other. For those casuals can look at the rankings and see how close people are to when they're fighting each other. And I like it, man. It gives a little outline to each division and the pound for pound. And I think be a big mistake if they got rid of them.
Yeah, so I've been hearing, people say like, "Oh, you're not gonna go by the rankings and get rid of the rankings." And man, the rankings really do help me kind of place people and look. And yeah, I don't always agree with the rankings, but it does give me like a guide when I'm trying to when I'm looking at the outlook and my opinions and forming opinions on where things should go and who people should fight next. And yeah, no one's following my advice, but I've always liked, and not only that, it's good. I like having a number by your name, and
It
it does give
legitimizes
me
it.
a guide. It
It, ma-
does.
it legit. And let me ask you this: being a boxing guy, do do all the boxing guys have that they have numbers? Do they get? Is it always a number one guy or number two guy mostly?
No, that's the thing. I hear people say this, and they always talk. I don't know. I've never really hear people talk good about boxing, and they talk about the rankings like it's perfect. It's never. The only thing is, it's even sketchier in boxing because it's not always the number one contender getting the fight, and even if it and if you have a lower, sometimes you'll pay a number one contender to not fight the champion, so another guy can come in there, and there's all kinds of weird, sketchy things going on in boxing. So the fact that anybody would say that boxing does it this way and blah blah blah, I'm like, no, they don't, man. There's a you think UFC is sketchy, dude? It's like it's it's crazy in boxing, man. It's insane. That's a whole level of a sketchiness. So it never, and not only that, dude. It's at least in the UFC, it seems like Joshua Van. I'm taking the fight, even though I wasn't even ranked a little while ago, and now I'm ranked, and I'm getting a fight out of nowhere. You could be a number fiver going up against the champion just because you're in the right spot at the right time. In boxing, a lot of these guys who are number one, they don't even want to fight for a title. I don't know why. It's weird, man. It's hard to get boxers to fight, let alone fight fast or fight early or fight often. So, I don't like to hear that crap, and I hope it's not really like someone's actually listening to that, because if they got rid of the rankings, I think it would be to their detriment, man. They need to hold on to that thing, no matter how crappy they think the rankings are, however they're determined. I think they're needed, and I think it helps everybody. I think it's good for the sport. I just wanted to get your opinion because I was wondering. I'm like, are you one of those guys that want to get rid of the
No,
rankings? Because I don't.
and it's not like the UFC is putting number nine Kamaru Usman, man. It's always 1 through 4, 1 through 5. And if these guys, the UFC guy who understand the sport, that number 2 and 3 are probably locked up together, and that number 1 and 4 have already fought the champion. So that's why some of these guys at 5, or I've never even seen a 6 get a title shot, but I don't remember. These guys 1 through 5 aren't getting a shot is because they probably already fought the champion or they're tied up, man. So I don't. Dana White doesn't put number nines in there and number tens in there to fight for the belt, man. It'd be very rare to see that. I think he does a really good job and keeps it as tight as possible, man. I would hate for it to be taken away.
Yeah, and how many times have you seen a guy that's with a lower ranking fight a guy with a higher ranking or even a champion, and the guy with the lower ranking is a favorite, like heavy favorite sometimes.
Yeah,
Happens all the time. It's just the way that doesn't mean anything. It means that sometimes you can see how good a guy is even though he has a lower ranking. Like for the longest time, when Chimaev was a welterweight, I was like, that's the best welterweight in the world. I don't care who the champion is, dude. This guy's bad. Or when as like I thought Rachmanov was the best welterweight up until Islam came in to the division. I'm like, this guy's the best. He's not gonna get a title shot anytime soon, but this guy's the best one in this division. And until he gets that shot, he's just gonna be not the champion, but the best one in the division. I thought he was gonna
yeah,
be because he was coming up when Leon was a champion. I'm like, he's better than Leon, he's better than Bilal, he's better than all these guys, but he's just not the champion. It happens all the time. So it doesn't really mean it doesn't mean I'm not saying it doesn't mean anything, but it doesn't mean everything all the time. So that's just something I want to get your opinion on. So I don't know. It's no, I just don't want them to get rid of it.
cool, man, cool. I got one last question for you. Now we won't get into
All
it too
right,
much.
man.
I just
Yeah,
want how
yeah.
you feel, how it makes you feel inside. What do you think about that? Our boy getting off suspension and coming against getting announced against Fluffy Hernandez.
Fluffy. Yeah, I saw that, man. He was like, I don't want to go to Australia. It's like, all right, dog, you're fighting Fluffy Hernandez. Ooh, dang, man. You know what? If I was coming off a layoff, long suspension, first fight in, man, I hope Sean is I hope he's itching to get back in there. I hope he's chomping at the bit because it's gonna take every single bit of him to get to beat Fluffy Hernandez, man. I don't know what his game plan is gonna be. I mean, I can, yeah. We go back and watch some Fluffy Hernandez fights because you're gonna have to come up with something nasty for this guy, man. I like Sean. I like him. I like the way he fights. I'm glad he was champion, man. But he is. This is a tall order for him, man. What do you think?
Oh, it's
It's gonna be
good,
good
man.
though. I think it's gonna be good.
I think it's gonna be great. I think yeah, I want once I look at, like I said, we'll get into it because Fluffy's been off too, man. He pulled out of that fight. I forgot who he didn't fight. Or DeRitter, right?
Yeah,
Or DeRitter. So okay, so they're both, not as long, but of a layoff.
yeah,
It's Sean is tough, man. He did get knocked out by Alex, but I think he's gonna get in there, and it's gonna be a back and forth, and it's gonna be a lot of blood and cut, man. Look, people getting cut up, and I think it's gonna be a back and forth fight of them just punching the hell out of each other. I'm excited though. I'm excited for it, man.
yeah, yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Sean has championship experience. He's fought Duplessis twice. That might help him, but he went through some war in those two fights, man. Those were tough fights. It helps and it doesn't. Either way, we'll get into it later. It's an
Yeah,
intriguing fight, man, but it's those are two scary men go fighting each other. It's a good fight, man. I heard about it. It's good.
yeah,
It's good. I
it's
can't
good.
wait.
Cool, man.
All right, man. Well, thanks a lot. Yeah, our shows always go long, man. We just have so much to say
Yeah,
about this stuff. But it was a good card. I'm very happy with it. Glad for ESPN. Glad for everybody. And our two new champions. But thank you for coming through, man. I know it's late
my
night
pleasure.
here, or
My
actually it's
pleasure, man.
later here than it is over there. Uh, but thanks for putting in the overtime. So that's it for us. We'll try to get to you later in the week for the very last card, Royval versus Cape, on ESPN for UFC, and that's going to be the last one for a long time. We're going to have probably have a little bit of a hiatus in between the next card. We'll come back nice and refreshed by the first Paramount card at the end of January. But we'll try to get to you this Friday for Royval Cape. So thanks a lot for watching. That's it for us. See you on the next one.